Hi and good morning. It's Dr. Richard Norris from Leading Men Only. Welcome to Tuesday's Power Play. I want to relate a story to you from a couple of instances over my career, which hopefully will resonate with some of you and will hopefully help you to progress your own leadership at work, at rest, and at play. Now, there's one organization I worked for several years ago, and I really bought into the whole culture, the whole ethos of the company. And what really caused me to gravitate towards them in the first instance was their values. You know, at the start, they had 12 values, and eventually it shifted to 14 values, all of which were very high level, certainly resonated with who I was and who I am with respect to integrity and everything else. And I worked my butt off to make sure that I was adhering to all of those values. Now, sadly, after a few years, I noticed that the chairman and CEO seemed to be putting on those values as and when he saw fit. Initially, I saw them all the time, but then the culture of the company changed and the values started to shift and slip. Now, the challenge with 12 to 14 values is trying to remember them and live by them, because I'm sure some of the organizations that you've been exposed to may have values, but the question is, are they just sitting on a website? They're not being applied on a day-on-day basis. There was another organization I engaged with. They kept their values really short. There was only 3, easy to remember, well, I thought they were easy to live by. I certainly did my best to adhere by them, and some of the other CEOs did too. But once again, the founder seemed to give them lip service, but wasn't completely congruent with them. And you know, when there's a values mismatch, at some point, your career will find itself having some upheaval or maybe some challenges. And that, I suppose, applies not just at work, but outside of work as well. Same with at home, because your testimony, your witness, your example, your role model is dependent on how well you live and know your values. And I guess that's a question for yourself, is to ask, you know, do you know your organization's values? Are they easily memorable? And are you living by them? And at the same time, do you know what, more importantly, perhaps, do you know what your personal values are? You know, if you've had a career mismatch, there's a possibility there's been a values mismatch. I coach a lot of clients, and one of the things we establish reasonably quickly is, you know, we look at their best clients, and we establish, and it's pretty well been across the board, any organization that has some great clients, the odds are they're resonating at a values level. But if you don't know what your values are, you'll sell for just about anybody coming in your business. And then you wonder why you have relationships at work, rest, or play that are perhaps challenging at best. Let's just describe it at that. But, you know, for my own values, you know, I wrote these down several years ago, and I pretty well live by them on a day-on-day basis. You know, family is my number one value. Then integrity, from everything my dad taught me. I certainly live by my word and do the right thing as best I can each and every day. Excellence, there's no way I'm not going to do anything unless I know I can put my all into it and get a great result. And that's what I'm training up my kids to do as well. Then there's generosity. You know, if anyone is ever connected with me, one of the things I focus on is, listen, my network is your network. Just ask. I'll help in any way, shape, or form I can, at least in as best I can at that point in time. And there's gratitude. There's just so much to be thankful for. And I know I have a proclivity, a tendency to perhaps look at things in a more harsh manner. And gratitude certainly helps me to maintain the right perspective. And I bookend my day of what I am grateful for. And then there's abundance. You know, there's more than enough to go around. We don't need to live in competition. You know, in leadership, you know, it's not about ego, it's about letting go. And it's really about being open and honest and appreciating that there's so much around us that we can use, that we can utilize, that we can take advantage of, and equally so that we can share, perhaps more importantly, and give. You know, the only life worthwhile is a life lived serving others, as Einstein said. And then for me, the final value is faith. Everything for me is centered on faith. And I made my career decisions. All my key decisions in my life are premised on, do these resonate with my values, yes or no? And really, essentially, a point to remember is that value your values, and your life and your leadership will be valued. Again, whether that's at work, rest, or play. So I guess the key point here is to know what your values are and then lead and live by them. And so your power play today is really write out your values and define them if you're not sure exactly what they are. You might have a word, but define what it actually means to you. And then apply them every day in all your decision making, because when you make decisions based on your values, you will stay true to who you are. Your life will be far more fulfilling. Your leadership will be far more effective and dynamic. So other than that, I'd like to say thanks very much for today. And if you haven't already done so, please drop by my Facebook page on facebook.com/Richard Norris Biz. Lots of great discussions going on there on the Leading Men Only Facebook page. As well, for those who haven't already done so, please sign up for the newsletter on my website, leadingmenonly.com, and I'll send you a free report, 3 mistakes most men make in leadership and how to fix them fast. But other than that, have a great day. Take care, and as always, as I always say, be awesome.